30 seconds and counting. Astronauts report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds. 20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour.
مستمتع جدا يعني بشكر سيدنا المدرس جدا على المكان الرائع ده لأنه جمع كل حاجة، جمع طبيعة جميلة، قاعة كبيرة قوي، اكوموديشن رائع مثالي، قدام بصراحة مفيش أحلى من كده أبدا، أكل حلو قوي، البارك كبير قوي، فكل حاجة هنا تحقق كل اللي ممكن نحتاجه في بيت مؤتمرات أو بيت خدمة مثالي. يعني مبروك عليكم المكان الرائع ده والتجهيزات الجديدة اللي حصلت. ربنا يدي نعمة يعني يبقى في زيه كتير في كل الولايات من أجل الحصاد الكتير.
مبروك، وبإذن الله السنة الجاية لما تيجوا في المؤتمر نعمله بقى في المبنى الجديد بإذن الله. مبروك.
But we were not able to reach an agreement, and all operations were put on hold.
The idea of a retreat center that would gather all the Coptic youth in the U.S. had been growing in the mind of our beloved bishop, His Grace Bishop Yusuf.
When we started the diocese back in 1993, and we started many ministries, one of them was the youth conventions, beside the theological seminary, beside the family ministry program. So we found that actually we are renting hotels or retreat centers for all these activities. And I start to think why we don't have our own retreat. Especially, we had so many conventions, not only the youth conventions, but also kids camp, family convention, and also senior citizen conventions, a clergy meeting, priest family meeting, North America bishop meeting, many actually activities. So I start to think it will be a good thing to have our own retreat. So the retreat actually can serve all our conventions. Besides, actually, the retreat itself can do courses. For example, course in theology, course in parenting, course in premarital courses, and we invite people. Also can serve the surrounding church if they want to come for one day retreat, spiritual day, or sport day. So it can be multi-purposes. That is how the idea of the retreat started when we started the diocese, but it was accomplished through the grace of God in 2010. In general, I like water. I like people when they come to come in a place that's relaxing. And if you notice, our St. Mary and St. Moses Abbey on the water, St. Mary and St. Damiano Convent on the water, So also I was looking for a retreat center, waterfront. And to tell you the truth, it was very expensive. We purchased land actually in Pensacola to build it on waterfront also, to build it as a retreat center. But we found, the expenses of building a construction very, very high. During that time, I was looking everywhere in the diocese, not only in Florida. And in this area, this hotel actually mainly was serving NASA. The people who work in NASA or want to see the shuttles or whatever, so that is the hotel that was serving NASA. In 2010, when Obama came as President of the United States, he shut down this center for NASA. So the owners put it for sale because it is not attractive to travelers, regular travelers. But what was actually downside for them, it was something positive for us. What was negative for them was positive because I was looking for an area that's calm, away from, crowd. It's a retreat center. So when I came and I looked at the place and I saw the water here and I saw the rooms, 110 rooms, they can accommodate a huge number, and the possibility of adding building to the existing building. And thank God we took it with a good deal. So I said that is the place I will take it as a retreat center. And since St. Stephen was a young deacon, so I said I will, if it's gonna be for youth activity, St. Stephen will be like a patron saint, and also his faith. Also, he was young, he testified for Christ, and is the first martyr. So we call it St. Stephen Christian Retreat Center. When we purchased the retreat, it was actually ready for use. We did not do any renovation in it. I remember we closed on it on May 31st, and it was working until May 31st. So the first day was June 1st, 2010, and I have now a building ready to be used. So I start to think who can take the responsibility of management. So I talked to Abuna Shnouda Illini from St. Mary Oviedo here, and his wife Susie and his brother Nagy, if they can actually take care of the management of the retreat. And thank God they agreed, and they did actually a wonderful job during this time. And immediately from June we start having retreats and spiritual days and many activity in the retreats. But since Oviedo is far from here, almost 45 minutes, I realized that after some time it became like a burden. It's not something they can do it for a longer time. And then actually God sent us another faithful servant, Mr. Yusuf Hanna, who actually from South Florida, but he accepted and volunteered to come and manage the retreat here. And he came after Abuna Shnouda and Susie and Nagy, and he became the manager of the retreat. But since his family was in South Florida, also it was difficult for him to continue for a longer time. And I was looking for a permanent servant here. And I was thinking if God can send us one of the consecrated sisters to live in the retreat, not to live distant from the retreat and go back and forth, this will be a blessing. And then God sent us Tasoni Sarah, and I talked to her about whether she accepted to manage the retreat. And after some hesitation, but with prayer and encouragement, she accepted. And thank God she's doing a very, very marvelous job managing St. Stephen Retreat Center.
I said to Bishop Yusuf, "Are you sure, Sayyidina? My English is not strong, and I don't know how to manage such a big center. It is a challenge." Despite being hesitant, I felt that the retreat center could be a place where our youth can meet with God. When we first started, we were counting on the staff and the church volunteers to run the place. It has been 11 years since we began this journey, and throughout these years, we have seen those volunteers grow before our eyes. Today, it is amazing to see how they passed their passion for serving God to the next generation. Seeing people from different walks of life coming from all over the world to our retreat center made me feel as if I was in heaven. And all this was through word of mouth. What a blessing.
باسم الكنيسة القبطية ومجمعها المقدس نودع على رجاء القيامة قداسة أبينا الحبيب راعي رعاتنا ورئيس رؤساء كهنتنا ومعلمنا وأبينا ثالث عشر الرسل قداسة أبينا الحبيب البابا شنودة الثالث نودعه على رجاء القيامة.
It was a trying time for our church. We had just lost an iconic personality in His Holiness Pope Shenouda III. For around 5 to 6 months, the retreat center did not accept any conventions as it grieved over the loss of our beloved patriarch. But after every storm, there is a rainbow. The church was blessed shortly thereafter with the ordination of His Holiness Pope Tawadros II, and the retreat center again began accepting conventions.
So it's a really very long story. Where would you want me to start? What I remember is at around 2013, I got a phone call from Tasoni Sarah, and she's have a basic idea about taking a look at this building and see what we can do with it. And I arranged a meeting, and I came here to Titusville. I have few pieces of paper and a pen, and we sat down and we did few sketches here and there. And we said, okay, maybe if we polish it up a little bit and we show it to His Grace, then we can take this to a dream that maybe will work out. So what we did is we did do the sketches based on the program that was provided at the time, and then we arranged a meeting with His Grace, and the surprise was that he was really into it and he wants to do it. From this point on, it took years and a lot of effort and a lot of different people and God's hand in every step that we took. And suddenly the few sketches and the paper and the story became reality.
By 2016, the paperwork and designs for the construction of the building were ready. We submitted them to several construction companies, but the quoted prices were too high. So we asked the engineering team for some downgrades to lower the cost. But we were not able to reach an agreement, and all operations were put on hold.
Good morning, everyone. And as we come on the air, Hurricane Irma is bearing down in the state of Florida as a massive Category 4 storm. You're looking now, live pictures out of Miami, where the situation there is deteriorating.
And the situation is even worse down south. The storm is making a direct hit on the vulnerable, low-lying Florida Keys. Look at these fresh images we're getting overnight. This is the satellite imagery. We also have video coming in. Overnight, Irma gained strength.
President Trump delivering a clear message here at the White House that his administration is prepared to deal with the aftermath of Irma after returning to the White House from Camp David, where he spent the weekend monitoring the storm, conducting a series of teleconferences. The president said, as you noted, he is going to be going to Florida very soon. This morning, he's scheduled to get another full briefing on Irma, the damage.
Mr. President, you know Florida very well. How concerned are you about Hurricane Irma?
We're very concerned. We are working very hard. We have tremendous groups of talented people there.
Adding salt to the wound, in 2017, Tassoni and the staff had to evacuate the retreat center as Hurricane Irma approached the east coast of Florida. Upon returning, they saw the devastation that Irma inflicted on the retreat center's eastmost building.
At first, the funds we got from the insurance company were not enough to cover all the damage. But we were very grateful because God rapidly opened for us another door that made the insurance reimburse us with enough cash, which we used along with the donation from our community and the diocese support to complete the work.
As Tassoni was calling engineer Ibrahim to source a roofer for the building, he introduced her to a contractor named Paul, who had helped with the St. Mary's Church in Delray Beach, Florida.
I was contacted by my dear friend Abraham Naguib from St. Mary Coptic Church in Delray Beach, Florida, which introduced me to Tassoni Sarah, which at that time came up and introduced myself and had the opportunity to look at some opportunities that the St. Stephen's retreat had. And from there, a conversation started about the addition, and from there, things all seemed to come together by the grace of God, and we're able to put together the structure, and with hopes that this will bring many people to Christ. And congratulations to St. Stephen's.
This is truly an unprecedented situation.
This virus doesn't discriminate. It attacks everyone.
I want every American to be prepared for the hard days that lie ahead.
This is certainly not a moment for panic or high anxiety. It is a moment for vigilance.
I have today declared that the coronavirus presents a public health emergency in the United States.
A public health emergency. A declaration of emergency.
State of emergency.
COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
I am officially declaring a national emergency.
The retreat center had lived through a lot. The departure of His Holiness Pope Shenouda, Hurricane Irma, and now the COVID-19 pandemic, which shut down the retreat center operations for an entire year. The retreat center had to continue paying expenses, including insurance, wages, and utilities. But, as Amba Hedra once told Amba Yusuf,
back in 1989, when His Holiness Pope Shenouda asked me to come and serve in Dallas, Texas, and this was not in my mind at all. And I never was outside Egypt, and it was never just a thought or an idea in my mind to leave Egypt and to travel outside. Besides what used to hear in Egypt, the people in America are difficult to deal with, they are arrogant, they don't respect the priesthood, etc., etc. That's unfortunately the image that we heard back then. So when Pope Shenouda asked me to come and serve here, I was, I don't know how to call it, insecure, afraid, concerned. So I remember first time after I joined the monastery, going back to Cairo, was the first time to leave the monastery. I was with His Eminence Metropolitan Hydra in the car, going from Syrian monastery to Cairo. So I said to Sayyidina Amba Hydra, please Sayyidina, pray for me. I am afraid I'm going to America and I don't know what to expect there. And they say people are difficult there. So Sayyidina told me, do you think that you are going to serve? So I told him, of course Sayyidina, I'm going to serve. And that's why I'm going to America. He told me, no, you are not going to serve. I was like shocked. Okay, Sayyidina, what I'm going to do there? He told me, God will do all the service and just you will watch the hand of God. And these words actually, still until now I remember. It's definitely 100% God is doing all the work. I'm just watching His hand. And truly, when I look back for these almost 32 years, and all the work that God has done, and my contribution is almost zero. It's hand of God 100%. All what I'm doing is just watching the hand of God.
God's hand delivered us to today, January 9th, 2022.
Congratulations, St. Stephen. Congratulations, everyone. May the Lord make this place like lampstand shining to all the surrounding area here and actually to the whole world.
I am pleased to express my congratulations to His Grace Bishop Yusuf and His Grace Bishop Basil and Bishop Gregory, His Grace Bishop Gregory and all the clergy of the Southern United States Diocese and all the congregation, and also to Sister Tasoni Sarah and all who are working in this blessed place, St. Stephen Center. I'm very happy to share your joy for this occasion of the opening of the new building. And I visited the center several times. It hosted many meetings, a meeting of the Bishop of North America and different other meetings. And we enjoy the hospitality of the center and also all the facilities existing in this center. It is a great project for help not only for the diocese but for all United States, and I wish all the success and the continuation for the growth to be a place where people come and benefit and enjoy the time here, and also for a time for retreat, for conferences, and many other things to be done in this blessed place. May God bless this project, and also for the glory of His name and for the progress of the service everywhere.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, one God, amen. We are very joyful and we congratulate St. Stephen, all those who are serving here. We can't think of St. Stephen, of course, without the hardships and the labors of Tasoni Sarah, who has been serving here from the very beginning and offering herself spending and being spent for the service here, her and the wonderful group that's been serving with her, whether those that started off with her and those that continue to serve here. We don't forget also the labor of Abuna Shnuda and Tisoni, Susie, and those who are serving from the Vito and Orlando area in the very beginnings of St. Stephen to bring us to this point where we see a beautiful building. When there was a desire to serve more and more people, they built another building just so that they can provide for all the needs of those who come. Truly, St. Stephen, from the time that I first came out for service and I saw the organization and the dedication and the commitment of the servants here to have a nice, clean place, an organized place, a place where the Spirit of God is working, and we have our own church and our own place to have our retreats instead of going outside. We feel that this is our home, and we're able to come and have our retreats and enjoy good spiritual time here together. May God continue to be glorified in this place and in all of His services that happen here, whether for our Coptic Orthodox Church or for any other church or place or people that come to use the services of St. Stephen. May God continue to be glorified in the service here. And may God reward all those who are laboring, Sonny Sarah and all the servants that are with them, all those that have labored in the past. And may God keep for us Sayyidina and Abu Yusuf for all of the dedication that he has in thinking of establishing places like this for the sake of serving his people faithfully. May God continue to be glorified, and to him be the glory forever.
Congratulations, St. Stephen!
Congratulations to St. Stephen and to everyone. It's amazing to see the work of God's hand in the transformation of this beautiful place we have today, from the time it was purchased by the diocese more than 11 years ago until now. And how His Grace Bishop Yusuf had a vision for it and then communicated this vision to everyone and helped make this happen. It's amazing transformation, and it's a great blessing to everyone and for many generations to come. Again, congratulations, St. Stephen, His Grace Bishop Yusuf, and to Sonny Sarah.
Congratulations, St. Stephen.
Congratulations, St. Stephen's.
So I start to think it will be a good thing to have our own retreat.